Okay, for you Casita owners, I've got a problem. My converter has gone out, and I'll do another video that's a further discussion of that, but I want you to notice that us 2018 owners, late 2018, 2019, we've got this RVP version, which is different. It's set up differently than the early 18 or prior Casitas, and it requires a special replacement, which I'll do in a second video. But this video is to basically show you the deconstruction or disassembly of what we've got. Now you'll see series 7100 here, but it's a 7155 RVP, and that's the distinction, it's RVP. So you can't just buy the 7155 replacement, that 4600 series. That's Progressive Dynamics. I think they call it a 4655 because it doesn't fit. I've already tried it. Not to mention the board and all positioning is totally different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do as best as I can to try to film this for you. I'm a one-man operation, so your patience, maybe you'll find this helpful. Let me see if I can position. The first thing I'm going to do here is I want to get over here, and I'm going to take my multimeter and I'm going to set it over here on the continuity setting, and I'll pick this up and show you. This is just a Craftsman multimeter, and you can see I've got it on continuity because I want to test first these two main 40 fuses here and see if they're dead, and indeed they appear to be dead. Okay, so that's definitely an indication that I've had a short. So let me pull these, and without these working, you're not going to get any 12-volt service here. So I'm going to pull them out, and I know those are going to have to definitely be replaced. Let me take a look and see. Yep, I can see that blown, and that's blown. Now normally that happens, that's there to also to protect the reverse polarity, I guess you'd say, of the battery in case you hook it up wrong, but that's not what's blown these. I suspect I've got a bigger problem, and it's in the bottom piece. So I'm going to be replacing these 40 amps for sure. I suspect these are probably good, but I'll check them. I would suggest that you go ahead and buy you a 40 amp set to keep around. For that matter, buy you some extra 10, 15s. These generally come in assortment anyway, but the 40 amp, you usually got to buy them separately. So how are we going to remove this? So in this video, I want to get this panel removed, and we're going to start with a little Allen here. And you've seen this before, I'm sure, but you're going to have to take these little Allen heads out. So let me get that in there and break those and get those out, because I want to get this panel cover off. So bear with me here. Let's see if we can get these out of the way. Okay. Alright, now if I can spin them, might go quicker. Get them out. Kind of a hot day today, or this evening. Been on a trip, just got back, and I survived off 110, knew I had a problem, and went ahead and ordered my replacement. Okay, now I think we should be able to get this panel off. There we go. Now, let's get back here and look at this. All right, now this is what we're going to replace, this bottom section. And so that should be pretty straightforward. Let me see if I can film this for you too. I'm basically going to need to remove these Phillips screws here. You can see. By the way, I have made sure, of course, I have no shore power. And I have already removed the battery entirely. So it's safe to work on this without any fear of electric shock or anything. So, ooh, that's in there pretty tight. Oh. I'm gonna break these. And I got me a little fan in here because it's so hot. Now, if you did make the mistake and you ordered a Progressive Dynamics, I think it's the model 4655, you would find that it will not fit in this opening, and neither would the fuse panel. So it would all be in vain. You'd do a lot of work for nothing. And we'll remove these two down here. I was lucky 18 and some 19 model owners are, I guess, fortunate that Casita changed out and went to this model. Maybe that was all that was available at the time. And it requires a special replacement, or you'd have to replace the entire power unit, and that's kind of costly. It costs enough just to replace this bottom piece. Now that should make that loose, and it does, but you can see, of course, these wires going up here, and you can see these come feeding up here, so we're going to need to disconnect them. Now let me make sure you're seeing this on the camera. So you can see the unit is free. It's just that now I've got to come up and remove the wiring. Here's the feed here on the 12-volt side, of course, and then I've got to come over here and feed the 110, remove these pieces on each side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this, remove it, to give myself plenty of room to work. And I think if I get that out of the way too, it'll open this up, so I can see a little better, work a little bit better. So what I'm going to do now is you can see I'm going to follow these here and remove them. Then I'm going to come over here and remove these. Then I'll be able to take this piece out. Now in my next video, what I'll do is I'll bring out the replacement and I'll show you me rewiring it. Then we'll replace the 40 amp fuses here. I'll test these, of course. That's all it should be to replace this, and this should be up and operational. So stay tuned for the second video, and hopefully this is helpful. Again, if you have an 18 or 19, it's a good chance that you've got a RVP model 7155. And in the second video, we'll talk about what's required to install it. Okay, hopefully this is helpful.